Hi, Danny Passmore here with my book, Martial Hearts. Can you see it? There we go. Coming out later this year, 2024. And this topic is on anger. All right? Anger is a normal emotion. We all get angry. We get frustrated. We get upset. We get angry. And it's what we do with it that determines if it's positive or negative in outcomes. All right? And remember, we're talking about abuse and unhealthy relationships. So domestic violence is the number one reason for emergency rooms visits for women. So we need to remember this is a very serious topic to me. It should be for everyone. Okay, the story of the Boston Strangler is one that I put in my book because now I don't know if this is true or not. It's just what I heard. Someone I'm sure will tell me. But I'd heard that Boston Strangler was a guy who would abduct, attack women, rape them, and then murder them to cover up the assault. And that he grabbed one woman who had worked hard to buy her a nice leather jacket, and he threw her on the ground. It was ruining her jacket, and she got mad. All right, and she started fighting back, screaming, yelling, biting, pinching, scratching, and he ran off, and they eventually caught the guy. The people they used to say, "Don't fight back. You can survive a rape." All right, but in today's society, life has ceased to have any value, so they will kill you anyway. If you're in a threatening situation, my advice is fight back. It could save your life. Just giving in uh, can have dire consequences. Okay, so anger to manipulate is an abusive behavior. Angry outbursts are a way to control someone. And if you allow that to continue, it's going to get worse. It will not get better. It always gets worse. I know he apologizes. He was sorry. He's doing better. That usually does not last. All right. And listen, you think you can change a guy while you're dating? There's no such thing as missional dating. Right. The best thing you can do is get away. Find somebody else. Yeah, he may be cute. Yeah, he may have muscles. Yeah, he may have a nice truck. He won't be the only one. Okay? And when violence is accepted, it makes it easier for the brain to think it's normal behavior. Remember we talked about how the brain needs more, not less. It needs to be challenged and stimulated. But these relationships, when they progress into making excuses on how family members are receiving new bruises and even broken arms and legs, that's a threatening situation that could end up costing your life. It often does. So we need to remember to try to get out when someone starts grabbing. The grabbing turns into hitting, and the hitting turns into beatings. And anger doesn't always manifest itself physically. Emotional abusers, sometimes like preachers and retired military lifers, they'll suppress their victim to the point of having no self-esteem or freedom whatsoever. And that's their goal. That's what they want. Passive-aggressive behavior is a latent form of anger, which doesn't leave visible scars on the intended victim. And sadly, these abusers, they sometimes seem like the pillar of the community on the outside of their home. And they will also groom others to believe or to not believe their partner or spouse. So then when you finally do go to someone for help, they don't believe you because they've already been conditioned to believe that you're going to go to them in life. I knew a preacher that would always say, these other preachers in town, they don't want me here. They don't like me. They're going to say this about me. They're going to say I'm not a real preacher. Well, because it was true. Because there was a member that went to jail and he went to visit him. They wouldn't let him in because he wasn't a real preacher. It was all lies. So all that conditioning people to believe, yeah, this is what they're going to say about me, because it was true, right? But he had successfully groomed his congregation into believing he was Mr. Innocent. He ended up losing his congregation, by the way. He was convincing women to leave their husbands if he couldn't control the husband, so that he could counsel them back together. And it finally caught up with him. But one thing I want you to remember is, don't believe you deserve behavior like that. You don't deserve it, right? You're God's creation. You're his child. You do not belong in a relationship where you're being hurt. You do deserve better than that. You are of great value. You know, if you find $100 bill laying on the ground and it's wrinkled and stepped on and dirty, what's the value of that $100 bill? $100. It still has the same value even though it's been abused, right? We may have go through bad things in our lives. It doesn't mean we're of any less value to God, our Creator, or to each other. All right. Make a list of some warning signs of abuse that you may have recognized in others and in yourself. Remember, we have to be on guard about these behaviors coming out of us and what to do when we recognize that, so that we don't continue to let that fester and get worse and grow and become a type of person who would abuse someone else. All right. If you believe you can save somebody, like I said a while ago, that's a dangerous and often disastrous delusion that you're telling yourself. You need to talk to a trustworthy adult and get a good counseling on what to do and how to handle situations like that. Anger in relationships can be grabbing, hitting, abusive sex, abusive language, yelling, force, refusal to accept no, and connecting sex with power. Right? Contributions to this type of behavior can be found in role models, music videos, music lyrics, television shows, movies, and sometimes in the family unit itself. A father, mother, brother, uncle. So not watching movies or listening to music that promotes violence against others is a good way to protect that from entering your own brain. Remember, our brains are like little video recorders. You get all this information in and then push play, and you act out what's in your brain. And we want to protect ourselves from that. Write down some role model anger traits that come to mind from examples mentioned, and even within yourself, and see if you can recognize them. Okay, now let's talk about some red flags. Preventative listening skills. Listen to what people say. When you're starting to develop a relationship with somebody, don't just listen to what they say. Watch what they do. Pay attention. You know, guys that are always going to do something, or they're always going to get you something, or they're always going to be a certain way. They're always going to do something, but it never happens. All right, be careful about that. That's a big warning sign. Watch for violent language. People referring to a person as that instead of her. I'm sorry. I'm trying to stay focused so I can keep as much of this concise and without taking too much time, because I don't want to go over 10 minutes on any of these. Write down names of people that you trust talking to if you have problems, that you can refer to and their phone number, and be able to get a hold of these people. Okay, I'm going to ahead and stop so I can keep under my 10-minute mark. And the next ones I'm going to talk about are accusations, flattery, and we'll see how that goes. All right. Thanks for tolerating my awkward stumbling through these tests, and I hope you learned something. Thanks. God bless.